Bet. We are officially live. I swear it's been a minute. I think the last video I did on YouTube, I can't even remember. What was the last video I did? Well, not video, but what was the actual last live that I did? That's crazy. It feel good to be back though. I guess let me start with an introduction. I'm over here just came on the live, not even talking. What's up, y'all? So if you're here for the first time, or if you just so happen to just find me on your timeline when you're watching this video, I am starting to go live every Sunday over here on YouTube. I'm gonna be breaking down my approach to how I trade as far as like what I'm gonna be looking for the week. It's gonna be based on NAS 100, US 30, and Germany 40. So if you trade futures, this would just be NQ, YM, and then if you trade futures, you can't trade Germany 40, so that one doesn't even matter. But I'm sick, man. Not sick, but I'm mad because this setup right here, I'm gonna talk about this a little later in the video, but this setup right here is fire. Like this is a setup I was looking for either to happen during London or New York tomorrow. And then of course here we are seeing the market kind of like take off now. This is fire. This is a fire buy play. But it's cool. We got a long week ahead of us. We got Wednesday, Thursday, core PPI, CPI news dropping. It is about to be one for the books for sure. I'm gonna give everybody probably like 5 more minutes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Excuse me. How y'all Sunday going? How everybody's Sunday going? And I think I'm gonna start going live either on here. I'm gonna start going live on YouTube, and I think I'm going live on TikTok. I gotta go get me a PC to actually like share my screen and stuff. I be seeing a couple people going live on TikTok. I'm like, that junk seem more legit, seem more fun. But y'all know this my baby over here. Man, this week about to be fire. I'm excited. While I'm waiting before I get started, I guess I'm gonna talk about this for a few before I get into my technicals. Let's look at the news. We got don't really care about the Sunday one, but we have no news on Monday, no news on Tuesday. So there's gonna be 2 days in the markets where the market probably gonna just be chilling. Not really expecting a lot of volatility. But like I said, I was expecting the buy reversals, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit once I'm done breaking on the news. But so far, Monday, Tuesday, no news. Wednesday and Thursday is gonna be like our 2 key days where it's gonna be like a lot of volatility in the chart. So the same way we saw NFP where the market took off for like 3,000, 4,000 pips. I'm expecting that same type of vibe, same type of energy as we get into these news right here, like the core CPIs, the monthly, the yearly, and then the same thing on Friday as well, with the 10 a.m. news for the U of M consumer sentiment. Based off what I'm seeing though, it's gonna be like 2 ways, 2 styles we can look to trade like on Wednesday and Thursday. Since both news happen before opening bill, that's actually perfect because you have two options. You could trade during the news, or you can wait until once opening bill come out, the market do what it needs to do, and then wait for the smoke to clear, and then you're gonna start seeing like the real direction of where the market wants to go. Regardless, if you trade before or if you wait after, it should be pretty fire. I think I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna actually get to talking. I'll let people join when they join. Let's see where I want to start at. So like, let's kind of like recap where I want to start from. We can start with Nas. I'm gonna work my way down. So starting off with Nas, last week on the charts, I'm gonna just go based off of Friday, right? Last week on the charts, I talked about this in the academy when I talked about the 250K play. But let's see. There was a higher low that was created during London session that got tapped at opening bill. When the news, not opening bill, when news dropped, opening bill happened, the market decided to tank. Usually what typically happens, like as we start to get back into fall conditions and like as the like more money starts to flow to the markets, we start to see like there are full recovery days. So basically what we're seeing right now where there's a when the markets sell off, when a strong volume on the charts, this is when we also see the opportunity for cool. You sell off like this, I know at some point in time, or whether it's a day, whether it's in a week, we're gonna be looking for the full retest back up into this high, right? Coming full retest back up into this resistance structure, and if not here, this would be like the next price area that I'll be paying attention to because this was like the main bearish candlestick that started those sales over there on NAS 100. Now, before seeing all this data, there's two like theories like what I usually go based off of, and I'm glad that it did push up because that kind of like confirmed the main one that I want to see. Right at opening bill, I wanted to see if Nas was going to find it's like a coming back inside in this zone right here, seeing that this plays as a resistance structure and start selling off again, or was it going to give us that play of giving us a full retest back to those like main highs from Friday, right? And then sure enough, as you can see here, it got straight to the point. Usually, like what I look for though, it's kind of like a let me see, because this one was just like literally market open and just took off. Usually, like what I look for is like it'll be like a consolidation somewhere around. Let me see if I can draw my arrow. It'd be like a consolidation or maybe like a face sell off here to retest this higher low point. And then during London, like around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., that's when we see like, okay, Nas might like it be sneaky during London and then make his way back to the highs. It might not go full retest during London, but this will be the start of confirming the buy reversals to test this area again to see if it's about to commit to a downtrend or if we're getting back into those highs. Me personally, I can see Nas going for higher highs, but obviously it's still too early to say that because we're nowhere near the main highs on the chart. So like we're at some highs right here. As you can see over to the left, the highest, the very highest point though was at 23,985, right? So like this was just a strong sell, and this buy move right here was our pullback. So we're about to find out if it ends up closing above this zone, then I'm gonna look for buy opportunities. And then it'll be like I can't even call it a scalper because I'm pretty sure this is still about 1,000 pips. So yeah, this would kind of be like I'll call this a scalper play. But this would be like a cool, quick scalp for 600 pips back to the upside. Like this would be like a buy area that I'd be interested in taking, and then I'll TP like up into this lower high range. But remember I taught y'all. So in the Funding Academy series, I went over my fibs and I taught y'all the fib sauce. This is also we're right on our 61 and we're right on our 78. So this is like a perfect area to start looking for sales tonight as well. So if it closes back above the zone, we potentially have buy sellers that we could take up to this high. But also, if it closes back outside the zone, this is going to confirm the downtrend momentum, and then we're just going to be looking for the sell-offs on the charts for NAS 100. And that's going to be pretty fire because, like, cool, I'm letting you manipulate. You're coming all the way up here to the highs, and then maybe throughout London, you start selling off again. And now I have my areas of interest, which is going to be the first target 23,640, and then the second target all the way back to 23,560. And then, oh, hey, why are you saying that? Because like I said, just going off my fibs, and then we're kind of playing with higher time frame opportunities. Because like on a 4-hour time frame, this was the last main lower high, right? So even if I wasn't using my fibs or anything like that, and I was just going strictly off the naked eye, let me get rid of these arrows for a second. We saw a strong bearish engulfing candlestick came, took off crazy for the sales because of NFP. Shout out to NFP. Now we're getting the market to buy back into that previous resistance structure as it creates its high. In order for it to break this trend, like for the sell-offs, and shows that it's staying with the uptrend, it has to close higher than this resistance structure right here. And if it doesn't, we're going to be start to look at this as the highest point in the market, and this area is going to play as our lower high. And then as I continue to go on and on, If it continues to sell off and comes back under the zone, right, we're going to be looking for pullbacks, affirming the lower high trends, and then we're going to just continue to take sell entries or just setting our TPs here, 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 and so on, depending on like how the market plays out. But that's kind of like what I'm gonna be looking for this week. I want to see bull runs. Well, I wanted the buy entry to be somewhere around here, and then I already took off for the buy. So I'm not looking for my buy entry anymore. I'm gonna be waiting to see how it respects this level. If it comes up to here, I wouldn't be surprised if it with this area and then starts selling off. That's a cool 200 pips we can look to catch there. And then this zone is gonna end up being a key area as well, because if it comes up here, it has to close back under here in order to confirm a sale. So if it doesn't, this is another buy entry off of this yellow zone that I have that you guys can look to take back to the upside again. And that's actually at 23,730-ish. And then if you got like a different broker, like it really don't matter what brokers y'all have, because that's the reason why I made sure I always do it strictly on TradingView. Because like everybody can just use TradingView and just go based off of TradingView numbers, regardless of what broker you have. But if you're like, oh, like my numbers are different, just mark your chart up to the similar, like it's literally the exact same area. The prices don't matter. You just care about what the patterns is showing you and how it looks on your chart. It's the same exact principle. All right. Let's see. So that's what I'm looking for on Nas. We're gonna look for highs. We're gonna take sales. There's gonna be a sell opportunity up here that we could take, and then there's gonna be a buy opportunity down here that we could take. And then I'm gonna slide over here to US30, and we're gonna look. It's literally gonna be a similar to that same play over here as well. So as you can see, beautiful sell-off because of the news. Oops. Same higher low structure that got tapped, and then immediate buy push. Right. If I draw my fibs from top to bottom, boom. And then let me mark this area up. And let me know if I'm going too fast for y'all too. Voila. So this area right here is the area that I marked as support, because you can see to the left. Not even, you ain't gotta go this far, but excuse me. Technically, this would be the full zone. Because this was the area where it hit resistance, it pulled back, it made this level of support, then it took off for a crazy buy opportunity. And then not only that, we saw on Friday, once that 8:30 a.m. news came, it came back to with this price area and then closed and took back off for the buys. So that's why this zone is still going to be another major key area that you guys are going to want to pay attention to on the charts, right? So when we're looking at this now, if you're looking to trade tonight, you can either look to see if it doesn't close under this zone, this support structure right here is going to be a nice area that we can look for buy opportunities once it bounces off of it. And then once again, TP1 to 61, TP2 to 78, TP3 can be just this lower high structure. The full retest back to the high of Friday, which is right here at 45,712. And then vice versa, same thing I said about Nas. If it does not break out of this zone, if it does break out of this zone, we're going to be looking for, I'll make this zone a little bit too bigger. If it comes back outside the zone, we're going to be looking for close outside the zone. Boom. I'm looking for sales somewhere around here. And I'm looking to TP back at this higher low. Now, you may be thinking like, oh, why not have a TP target right here? This is another mini higher low. Well, you can. Like, there's no problem with doing that. I just know if I'm looking at my higher time frames, my main move, my main TP target is going to be here. But yes, I will have my eye on this higher low. Because once again, if it comes here and respects it, and it starts to pull back and it starts like taking off for the buy strong, then that lets me know, cool, the buys are strong, the reversals is looking good, and then I'm just going to stick with my buy trend. I don't have to worry about catching sales anymore, and I can just have fun catching buy entries off of the higher highs and the higher off of the higher lows, and just capitalizing off of that. So main move I want to see, boom. If it closes out of the zone, close on here, sales back to this stretcher to test this low, right? On his way back down here, we may see something like this. It might bounce off of this support, pull back to retest the zone one more time, create another lower high, and then we can see the market take off for the sales again, right? So if this is the scenario, like if this is what ends up happening, and you won't know, there's no way you can say like, oh, hey, like how do you know this is gonna be a downtrend sell. Like it could just be taken off for the buys now. You don't. So you got two options. You can go low on your risk, use proper risk management, go low on your lot size if you're looking to swing it to here, or you can twin trade, which is placing two positions, one trade that you're setting right here at this higher low for TP1, and then you have another trade that you're setting for the swing back down to the 45,288. And I don't really necessarily want to call this a swing trade, excuse me, because this isn't really a swing for me. Is like like 2,500, 2,000, 2,500 pips is what I like to call like a nice swing trade. But like a for real swing will be me like holding trades for like a day, something along the lines of like if I took a buy down here, and I'm looking to hold it all the way to the high, from swing from low all the way to the main high. That's a real technically a real swing trade in my eyes. That's how I look at it. But for now though, on US30, this is the play. So if it comes here, boom, TP here, it pulls back. And yes, you can scalp buys right there if you want to, if you're a scalper. But if you're somebody that's like, oh, I'm waiting, ooh, you hold, you wait, it creates another lower high. You take the sales back down to the same support or back down to this next higher low stretcher, aka the main low from Friday. And then if it closes above the zone, vice versa, we're gonna flip, break out the zone, look for the retest, create a higher low, and then from there we take buys back to the upside, and then this cancels out that fib. And we're just gonna look for the highs on US30. This one is actually moving slower than Nas though, so that's interesting. That's kind of like making me happy though, because like I don't want the Nas bias to really go right now. If anything, I wanted to pull back one more time and then take off. Only because since opening session, like opening bell, Sunday night opening, it just took off a straight buy. This would have been a fire, quick scalp opportunity for sure. But if we keep going, gotta respect it. I can't even be mad at it. Last but not least, my favorite pair, my favorite swing pair. Like I said, I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I guess because I guess a lot of traders are more here in the States. But you can trade this pair depending on what broker you have. Germany 40, one of my favorite swing pairs, one of my favorite pairs to trade. It kind of remind me of nope, I can't even say that. Why I like it is because it's a very trending pair. When it's in the trend, it's very obvious to see the lower highs and lower lows. Honestly, any new beginner or like anybody in my, if you're a student that's in my academy, I probably will recommend this pair for y'all to trade when it comes to trading like the indices per se, just because it's easy for you to understand the trend and you won't have to worry about fake house for real. Only thing you gotta worry about is just trusting your analysis. So as you can see here, I'm not even gonna draw the trend line, but as you can see here, like this was a lower high, it dropped, created a lower low, it gave you a pullback, created another lower high, it dropped, created another lower low, gave you a pullback. So all these sell opportunities, all these buy opportunities, all these sell opportunities, every single one of these opportunities for y'all to like do your thing on the charts and just milk the market. Is like when the market is pulling back, you take the buys. That's 1,200 pips. When it's ready to continue for the downtrend, you take the sales. That's 2,000 pips. I've been more so on my swing trade vibes with this pair. Just cause like right now, this past month for August, it's really just been like in a slow. It's been more of a. It's been better for day trading purposes, per se, versus swing trading. The swing trading, like my style would be like I'll take an entry up here, and then I'm holding it all the way down here, and then I'm taking a buy down here, and then I'm holding it all the way to the high. And you can see like look how strong. If my entry is up here, look how far it pulls away from my entry every single time. I'm not worried about being drawdown. Versus, let's say if you trade in August, you can see like my entry right here, it pulls back, it comes all the way down near close to my entry, and then it continues again, but it's still just creating stronger. It's closer in range, I would say. So that's how I swing trade it. But when it comes to day trading, if you understand how to day trade it, I guess really a cheat code for real. I'm surprised they haven't patched it yet. Hopefully, too many people don't get hip about it. Luckily, y'all subscribe to me, so y'all getting the sauce. But Germany 40 for sure is definitely one of the ones. But for this week, for me, what am I looking for? When I zoom out, right? It's ironic. This is back in the area that I was already looking for swings for the buys before. I actually took a buy. Well, actually, I think this was the blue line where I took my buys off of back to this zone. But for this week in particular, with core PPI and like with the CPI and all the CPI news and the PPI news coming, I'm expecting big moves, right? So even over here, I think I want to see this level get tapped. I think I want to set like a buy limit or like a buy set. I want to look for buys somewhere down here. Like I'm expecting that much of a volatility, and that's basically me saying that we should still be in a downtrend this week over here on Germany 40. And if you haven't realized by now, the market structures are all pretty similar. So this pair looks similar to US 30. US 30 looks similar to NAS 100. When they're in sync, they're in sync. When they're not in sync, that's when it gets a little tricky. But I will say, if Germany 40 is going to be selling off and coming back here, that means over here on US 30 and over here on NAS, that kind of confirms my analysis of us looking for downtrend positions when it actually finishes up with this, like the buy move, the buy breakouts and creating lower highs. So we're gonna see. Monday and Tuesday though. Keep in mind, Monday and Tuesday, there's no news. So I would suggest be prepared to probably trade on the lower time frames, scalp it. You'll probably have a better opportunity scalping the market than trying to look for like 2,000 pip moves. I'd rather y'all like literally scalp or wait for like a cleaner setup versus what the market might be showing you, because it could just be a fake out, right? So what I'm personally going to be doing, I'm going to be waiting for it till like after 10 a.m. to trade Monday and Tuesday. I do trade gold as well, so I'm probably going to be trading that later on in the evening, of course. But besides that, 10 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be looking at opening bills. We're going to be looking around. Honestly, I could say I really could do 10 for the whole week, honestly. But if the opportunity comes earlier, then I'm gonna call my trades out earlier. I think that's it. So far I don't see nobody asking anything in the chat, so I think we get in the chat. I'm going to if y'all didn't watch if y'all didn't watch the Q&A video, go watch the full video. Go to the end and you'll see the announcement, but I'm announcing here as well. But the live trading room is officially back. If you're an Academy student, you have access to the live trading room. Trading sessions will start on Thursday. It was gonna start Tuesday, but I forgot I had an appointment. So Thursday is gonna be the official launch of the live trading room again. New York session, 9:15 a.m. Be there. I asked y'all if y'all was interested in Tokyo session. A lot of people didn't. Actually, no, I don't think nobody voted for Tokyo. I think everybody was like New York, New York, New York. It may have been maybe one vote for Tokyo. So I'm a whole. If y'all want the Tokyo over here, well, it ain't gonna be. I'm talking to my Academy students. Academy students, y'all gonna see the private lives that we're gonna have. So for my Academy students, if y'all want Tokyo sessions, y'all let me know. If not, I might be on TikTok with it. Cause them gold trades, doing Tokyo session, them boys be hitting like fire. I'm telling y'all. But I appreciate everybody that tapped in with me today. If you're watching this in the video, appreciate you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comments if y'all have any questions. But for now, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.